Ben Johnson finally opened up about the run game. So let's talk about this because his comments were interesting, and I have been waiting to hear about Ben Johnson's thoughts on the run game. So what is going on, y'all? Phosphorus Stall back at it with another video talking, of course, my NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, guys, please do hit that subscribe button down below. I promise you, you will not regret it. The season is literally here, people. You need to be subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video because I'm going to be bringing the content daily. All right, so let's talk about this. So Ben Johnson opened up about the run game, people. Here is what he had to say. And I quote, "I don't know if we're going to be a wide zone team up front. I don't know if we're going to a gap team yet. There's a lot of things that's got to play out, and we won't know until we get pads on." End quote. Now, by the way, obviously this was before the latest practice in which the pads did go on. But I digress, and he continued, "Our wide zone has looked good the last few days, but I know we have a lot more installed to put in with run schemes. It's not like we're introducing everything all at once, but we want to be multiple, have the ability to morph as we go." All right. And then he also talked specifically about the run game and the perception of it. He said the following: "The perception out there is that maybe it's not the most talented room in the world. They like to hear the noise. We're going to be just fine." End quote. All right, that last part really sticks out right there. We're going to be just fine. Now, I know that's coach speak, and the coach is supposed to make sure that everything is just fine. And, you know, even if there's issues or whatnot, you're not going to present that. But look, you got to judge people based off their actions more so than their words. And the actions all offseason have been what? That the Bears and Ben Johnson are satisfied with the current running back group, which includes DeAndre Swift, Roschon Johnson, and Kyle Manengai. And so that's what I'm going to go off of. So the comments he makes here about the scheme, that is really interesting because I thought for, not a fact, but for certain that Ben Johnson had an idea of where he's going to go with this run game. Now, with the Lions in 2024, they were a heavy outside zone run scheme team. They ran that over half of the time, 51.3%. And when we're taking a look at DeAndre Swift, he is a guy who's better on the outside as a wide zone scheme type of running back versus hitting it in the middle with the gap power game. And so to me, like, it's like you have the personnel for a certain style, mainly with your most talented running back. Are you really going to go against that? And so I do believe him when he says that, hey, we're still experimenting with things. We're still, seeing what we're going to do. And a good head coach, again, schemes his offense or his, plays and whatnot around his players' talents, right? That's what he's going to do. He's not going to force his system onto a player. That's what a bad coach does. And so, to me, I believe Ben Johnson is going to go into this season with this current RB group. I have tried to hold out as long as I could to see if the Bears would add a running back, but at this point, it seems pretty dire and pretty much, non-existent that they will add a running back. So this will be the group that Ben Johnson goes into the season with. Now, whether or not he sticks with this group, we will see, and whether or not they'll add somebody, that remains to be seen as far as into the season, right? We'll see. Hopefully not. Hopefully everything's going great. We don't need to add nobody, and hopefully nobody gets hurt, knock on wood. But he is going to go into the season with this team. We got DeAndre Swift, most likely as your starting running back. I mean, you are going to use him where he is at his best, outside zone run game. Now, what I do think is going to happen here is you're going to get a lot more Roschon Johnson downhill, hoping that he builds off that play action. Now, you can definitely run play action off wide zone as well, but I'm just saying, like, more traditional play action could be used off that. And then Kyle Manengai, the ultimate wild card here, man. Maybe he gets about 20% of the run game share as the season progresses. So, like, at the beginning, are you looking at, a 60 35-5 split with Swift, Roshan, and Mananga. Mananga just getting the scraps there, if you will. And then as the season progresses, does DeAndre Swift's run share kind of decline to 50%, and Roshan's at 40%, and Kyle's at 10%, or Roshan at 30 and Kyle's at 20. So my point is, I do think this is going to be, for better or worse, a running back by committee. Right? So whatever we need, whatever Ben needs out there at a certain time, he's going to go ahead and use that running back. We are not going to have a guy that is going to get 20 carries a game. I do not believe DeAndre Swift will be the guy for the Bears. I just don't believe that to be the case. He's not effective when he gets 20 plus carries a game. He's a guy who likes to, who's effective, on certain plays when he's able to pop off. And he's just not a bruiser that you can just keep handing the ball off to when the defense is just going to get tired because they have to keep tackling the guy. So to me, this is what Ben Johnson, I believe, does, is he uses all three guys in the committee in a pretty even timeshare, keeps each of the running backs fresh, and keeps the defense guessing, right? And all three guys have different skill sets. So your run game scheme that you are going to have, it could be a mix of literally everything. You might not be primarily a wide zone team. You might not be a gap team. You might just be again, utilizing all of them at an equal percentage based off of, the running back that's out there. So to me, that is going to be the interesting part here on how this run game looks. But I believe Ben Johnson, as he mentioned, thinks that they're going to be just fine because he's got different types of talents in the running back room, and he's just going to find a way to maximize all of them. So that's where we're at, people, with the run game. Let me know what you guys think. I'm very, very, very curious to see how this Bears run game looks early on. Obviously, the offensive line is improved, and we know that, but I just really want to see how effective this run game is because it is a huge, huge part of Ben Johnson's offense. And you better believe he knows that, and he is not going to take that lightly. So he is absolutely trying to maximize his run game as much as possible. Let me know down below what you guys think. Leave a comment as always. Thanks for watching.